Okay, good morning, everyone. We'll call to order the October meeting of the Binghamton Traffic Board. It's October 13th, 2022. The first item of business is approval of the minutes from the September 8th, 2022 meeting. Is there a motion?
Motion.
Second? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Okay. I see no one here for the public comment section of today's meeting, so we can move on past that to traffic board determinations. The first item on our agenda is 36 Fairview Avenue. This is a curb cut request for a driveway at the property. The traffic division, I believe, reviewed this. Sergeant Musick, do you want to just give us an overview? And it looks like we have an IDC in our packet.
Yeah. So traffic division received a call as well as an online submission for the driveway cut on 36 Fairview Ave. I spoke with the gentleman. I went and review it. Looks like at some point that was 38 Fairview Ave. So now it's just a vacant lot that he made two lots into one. And he's just requesting the access into a vacant lot. He wants about 10 to 12 foot driveway cut. Just so right now he is planning to do an extra driveway. He has one driveway on 36. He has 2 or 3 vehicles. He's just requesting an extra driveway so he can get a couple more vehicles off the street. There's an upper space there. There's 2 trees in front of that property. They're 22 feet from each other, so it gives any clearance to do a 10-foot driveway cut. And it will be more than 20 feet away from the driveway cut would be more than 20 feet from the adjacent property line. So our recommendation is that we do go ahead and grant the permission. If there's no, I know I talked to you, Megan, but I'm not sure how we can check if there's any fees or anything.
I checked quickly that this wasn't part of the side lot program where the city would have deed restricted it for to keep it as green space. As far as I could tell, it didn't go through that program within the last 5 years, so there shouldn't be any deed restrictions on that. Does anyone have any questions or
Is he
discussion?
gonna put up some retaining walls?
Yeah, he was, he'll have to do, just as his, I don't know if you can see on his picture, and as his resident has
Yeah.
the walls.
Right.
I talked to him about that. He does have a company lined up to do that, and he is aware that he'll have to get extra permits if he's gonna do anything behind. But he does not want to do anything if he cannot get the driveway cut.
Right, he's not trying to get a driveway to the back of his property.
No.
Right.
No, he has currently he has the garden on top on the flat spot, and he needs to get in there, something in there or something. He actually have to get the sidewalk down, like where they can drive up on the sidewalk.
Does it look like he had a lot of shed before? When I looked at
No,
it,
I don't think there's any right now, or it was like the one shed, but it's a garden up there.
on the GIS there was some.
Yeah, it's not showing that I have the same thing. GIS, it's not showing garden, but we have the fenced in garden.
Would engineering want to look at those plans, Ron, or would that just happen as part of the permitting process?
No, when he gets his permit. hopefully
Okay.
they'll look at it.
Okay, so the recommendation then from the traffic division is to grant the request for a curb cut at this property, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions on this? If not, I'll look for a motion to accept and advance that recommendation.
I'll make the motion.
There's a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? Okay, this passes. Okay, next item on the agenda, 54 St. John Avenue. This was a request for a handicap parking space, for removal of a handicap parking space in front of this property. There is another IDC on this request. Sergeant Music, can you just give us the overview on this one as well, please?
Yes, traffic division received a call from the owner of the residence 54 St. John and requested for the handicap parking space in front of that residence to be removed. The handicap parking was previously given to Edward Hunt, who was the resident of the 54 St. John. Edward Hunt has passed away several years ago. And I went out and checked the location. It appears to be vacant. Location also has its own driveway and the parking in the back. I also spoke with several other neighbors in the area, see if anybody else is in need of handicap parking zone. Couldn't find anybody. Our recommendation is that we remove said handicap parking zone due to no use and just creating another regular parking spot.
Okay, any questions or discussion from the board? Okay, motion to accept that and adopt the recommendation. Thanks, Ron. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passes as well. Okay, so that's it for the traffic board determination agenda. We have a handful of items on the under discussion that I'll try to work through really quickly, hopefully with the help of Sergeant Music, as traffic went out to review a number of these. The first item under discussion is we received a letter from Stick regarding a handicap parking space on Isbell Street. There is an existing space there close to the entrance of the garage into Government Plaza. The issue that they brought to their attention is that there isn't a curb cut or sidewalk access there. So it's not really accessible for handicap vans with chair lifts. Sergeant Music, do you want to just give us an overview of what the traffic division's recommendation for this was?
Yes, I went out there and I don't know if anybody needs photos, but we think the easiest would be if we just create another. Well, there's existing handicap parking, but we create landing on the median there, possibly curb cut and the concrete landing. So when these med vans that have passenger side ramps, when they pull up there, they can actually lower their ramp onto the concrete, and the wheelchair bound people can just ride onto concrete and a sidewalk, then use existing crosswalk cut to get into the building across the street. Right now, if the med van pulls up and rolls down the ramp, the wheelchair will have to be pushed through the grass part. So our recommendation is to do another curb cut along the handicap parking and to pave or put new concrete on the median part to connect it to existing sidewalk with the door.
Okay, I've looked into this briefly after we met. I think like it looks like the county owns that property or maintains it. Ron, do you know that?
I don't know.
Okay. That was the one question.
Megan, I think you're right. I was gonna interject that I think the county is responsible for that. So you might want to contact DPW
Okay,
facilities.
okay,
the
thanks.
county.
I think that's something we can do in between this meeting and our next one, and we can just put this item as a traffic board determination on the next agenda, if you could, that'd be great. The next two discussion items, I believe both stemmed from a correspondence from Councilwoman Riley. It was a request of a review of West Side underpasses and a curb jet issue on Clinton Street and Murray Street. Sergeant, traffic went out and looked, and it seems like there are some missing advance warning signs there. You want to just fill us in?
Definitely.
Did you have locations for the signage, or it seems like there had been advance warning signs in the past, correct?
That there should be, there appeared, I only found one on Clinton Street going eastbound that has actual advanced warning sign instead of just being on the bridge. The Glenwood underpass has one, coming down Glenwood Ave, but that's under construction right now too. There's nothing coming from Main Street. Murray Street has no, I mean, there's no trucks going through there, but there's no advance warning signs. I'm under impression that Clinton Street Bridge or Front Street Bridge or the pavement is lowered, right? So the trucks can go through. Our recommendation is to put this on next agenda if so desired, but in meantime, we'll go out and I believe this is all the bridges to the city. It's not just West Side Street. And we can go and or does this need to be on the traffic board if we were just adding signs?
I think if it's a question of replacing signs that are missing, it can just be done through a work order from DPW is my understanding. But if there needs to be sort of a more comprehensive review of were there ever signs there, or do we need to add new ones? I think we could plan to put it on for the next agenda.
Yeah, we
The
can
next
definitely put
meeting
that
agenda.
next agenda and traffic division will go out and check most of these bridges and hopefully Dan gets better, check with him too, and I'm not sure when it's the last time that the book has been updated. Yeah,
Does anyone have thoughts on this, or put it on for next month?
Just confirmation from engineering, I guess, on the posted heights with those road levels changing over the years, what they're actually gonna be posted at.
If you want, we can measure them.
yeah.
I'll have somebody measure them.
And then the curb jet issue, I think was part of the same correspondence from Councilman Riley, but probably a separate issue. The city's applying for DRI funding for that portion of Clinton Street, which we should be hearing back on shortly. That sounds like it might be a good issue for the consultants to look at, whether that curb jet should stay or Ron, if engineering wants to take a look at that too and weigh in, that'd be welcome, but
Okay, we
Oh.
will.
okay. Okay, the next discussion item, Oak Street, our office received a request from the principal at Binghamton High School to have the traffic division go out and take a look at some traffic safety concerns outside the high school. Sergeant, it's my understanding that the traffic's been out there and
Yeah, we've been out there several times, just to observe the traffic too, and I was out there too, and also we're missing signs that were definitely supposed to be there. They're not there. The school zone, 15 mph zone, the signs are not there, which I'm gonna get with DPW just to immediately replace those. Our recommendation is also we do not have any marked crosswalks on Oak Street by the school. Our recommendation is that we do at least put one marked crosswalk by the Oak Street entrance. Have a flashing lights. Like the one that we have on Court Street Bridge.
Cindy, is the crosswalk and pedestrian safety upgrade something that BMTS would want to get involved in that area?
We could look at it too. So you're talking about putting an RRB there.
Mhm.
Yeah, we're happy to look at it with the city and traffic division or whatever. We also had someone in our office pull up the crash history on Oak between Leroy and Maine. And there wasn't any like real pattern. It's pretty much what you would expect, some side swipes, backing in, rear ending, parking crashes, anything like that. I don't think there were any pedestrian crashes or anything in that area. But it was just because they were the type of crashes that you would see if there was a lot of congestion going on, just a lot of stuff like that, but nothing, no patterns.
Okay,
But we're happy with it.
Yeah, it's definitely like parents or kids being picked up in vehicles. That's what it's causing all that. And from the time being that we were out there, it's mostly the student drivers that would kind of do speed through there or show up or to show off and stuff like that. But SRO, we spoke with SRO too. He's aware of that. He is out. He should be out there at the dismissal.
okay. So I'd say if BMTS would be willing to look at it with traffic, and then we can put it on for the next agenda, maybe have an IDC with recommendations. But in the meantime, if traffic could just work with DPW to get any missing signs replaced before then, that'd be great. The Vestal Ave Brookfield, this was one I was hoping BMTS could look at too. We had received a request from Councilman Burns about turning a traffic light here. I think to blinking between 9 p.m. and 7 is what he was asking.
Yeah, we can look at it again with traffic. The city does that at other locations. I don't think there'd be a problem if those times are doing that. And I think it used to do that. I don't know. And go on flash in the evening.
Okay. That's one too. Lee, if you wouldn't mind just adding that to next month's agenda. That'd be great. Park Ave at Morgan Road, there was a request to make that exempt from alternate side street parking. Sergeant, I know traffic looked at this, but for next month, if we want to just have an IDC with recommendations. I think the initial thought was to make it no parking on the,
Yeah, which I'm surprised that it's not in the
Okay.
parking zone at all. But
and then the last one, the State Street extension. Within the last handful of months, traffic board, added parking on this portion of State Street right in front of the arena. And we did this, I think, to create more parking downtown and specifically for events during the arena. I think it's caused some issues with the loading area that's existing there, particularly now that the hockey season is starting again. That's where the bus used to pick up and drop off, or still picks up and drops off, and we have cars parking in that area. So I think it's something that just needs to be revisited. If traffic could just connect with Chris Marion over there to get a better understanding of, can we have any on-street parking spaces there? Do they need that whole area as loading? Whatever they sort of need to accommodate the events there.
I think that is a reoccurring issue too with the large truck traffic that gets turned around downtown. They lap the block of the arena as far as local delivery. And then with the other congestion that's been downtown with the construction, Water Street, or the changing to one-way portion and so forth, the larger trucks do utilize that as a
Turn around.
path for redirecting.
Okay, so it sounds like that's something we'll need to revisit and talk to BPD and Chris Marion and figure out what we should do to rectify that, but that's one that we can add on for next month too. Does anyone else have any add-ons or any other discussion items for this? Okay, if not, I'll look for a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Second,
Second?
all those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.